Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the 14th episode. I'm here with
Ooh.
Jacee McKeel, the Kentucky FFA secretary, correct? Okay, got
Yes.
that right. So I guess tell a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So like Connor said, my name is Jacee McKeel. I currently serve as the Kentucky FFA State Secretary. I go to Murray State University where I major in agriculture education, which I absolutely love. I've been having a lot of fun here, not only in Murray, Kentucky on campus, but also throughout the state as a state officer. I've been able to meet so many different people throughout this year. It's really, truly been a blessing.
That's awesome. So, okay, this is completely unrelated. Where's
Yeah.
Murray, Kentucky? I
Okay, so I'm gonna do the Kentucky hand thing.
yeah.
So this is the state of Kentucky, right here, like at the little divot where, like at the very west. That's where it's at.
Okay, so it's like near
Yes,
Paducah.
yes. Like, have you ever heard of like John Morant? He's in the
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
NBA.
yeah.
Yes, he went to school here.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yep.
all right. So I guess one of the questions I haven't actually asked before, but now I'm going
Yeah.
to because I heard something
Oh.
similar. Um, when was the first time you heard of FFA or anything related to it?
I love this question because I have a great story to that goes along with it. So I was actually sitting here in my car, but it wasn't my car at the time. My dad was driving it. And I was in eighth grade, and my dad picks up the phone while we're sitting in a friend's driveway. And he picks up the phone, and it's no other than Dr. Jacob Falwell, who is my agriculture advisor. And so he calls my dad, and he's like, "Hey, like, I heard JC really likes to give speeches, things like that. Like, I think she would be really good at FFA." And I remember hearing this over the phone, and I remember my dad hanging up the phone, and he tells me, and I just started busting out laughing. I was like, "Absolutely not! There's no way I'm gonna be an FFA. I don't come from agriculture. I'm not a farmer, never gonna be a farmer. Obviously, hindsight, no idea of the opportunities within FFA. But I remember him contacting my father and saying that he saw something in me that I didn't see in myself. And if it wasn't for him, Lord knows where I would be today. And just because of that one person that believed in me, I was able to achieve my dreams that I didn't even know I had.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
so, like you said, you're from a non-ag background.
Yes.
So, so when you were growing up, did you not really think about it? Like, just not at all?
Yeah. No, definitely. So I was raised in like suburban Western Kentucky. My granddaddy was a poultry farmer and I was like farm help. And that was kind of my first job. But he retired out of it before I was kind of able to be immersed into the area of agriculture. So he retired out of that. I knew like what ag was. Like I wasn't completely away from it, but it wasn't until I took my first steps into an agriculture education classroom where I was able to see like the complete diversity of what agriculture and the industry is as a whole. Through this as in agriculture education, I was kind of able to dip my toes into animal science and horticulture and ag power, and it's just like the world just kept unfolding, and the very minimal of what JC knew about agriculture, it just continued to grow with it, and that it's really beautiful.
Yeah. And man, I always forget how much stuff there is related to agriculture till like
I
I
know,
I
it's
feel
crazy.
like I remember I was looking at like this like list of like different competitions for like
Hmm.
Kentucky FFA and there were so many. For
There's
stuff I
so
haven't
many.
even for stuff I even like even heard of. Like
Yeah.
up until like last year I had no idea that seed ID was a thing. I
Yes.
had no idea that like anything like that was a thing. Um
Yeah.
Next Saturday I'm doing a competition, the Envirothon thing,
Okay.
that I did not hear about until 3 or 4 months ago.
Nice. Well, that's so good.
There's
Dipping your
so
toes in
much to
that.
do. So I as I've seen, and then you do have poultry. That is kind of your
Hmm.
SAE. You talked about it during your
Yeah.
outstanding youth speech contest for the Kentucky Farm
Yes.
Bureau at state level.
Look
You're
at
talking about.
you.
I know. Thank you. But how since you said that you don't come from a farming background,
Yeah.
where did you find that interest in poultry, and where and when did you get started?
Absolutely. So, like I said, granddaddy was a retired poultry farmer. So, like, poultry was kind of always like an interest of mine just because of having that connection with my grandfather. But it wasn't until quarantine, just as everybody else, my family had no idea what to do. I mean, we were stuck in the house like with my two little sisters. I mean, we were itching to get out. But we decided to get 2 dozen Rhode Island Red Chicks, and me and my father, we built this coop. We spent so much like time and effort and money on building this small coop and raising these chicks. And with that, I was able to grow like a really big passion for it. So not just raising the chicks, but also egg production and then also agriculture sales. I loved it. I was able to grow and expand my business, especially with the help of the Shark Tank grant competition through Kentucky FFA. Just throwing that out there. That kind of pivoted my FFA experience of realizing that I was able to do things like on my own and have independence, especially within my SAE. So after that competition, there was kind of a switch, and I was able to be fully immersed within this SAE. And ever since then, I mean, it just skyrocketed. Now being a college student and a state officer, that looks very different. Kind of focusing more on bird sales. I'm just looking towards the next steps of my life. But no, especially through my high school experience, my SAE was pivotal, which really just shows that no matter where you come from, an SAE can change your life if you put the effort into it.
Right. And so do you focus more on like egg sales and that side, or do you focus like, so is it mainly eggs, or or is it like meat
Yes.
production? So it's like only eggs?
Yes. I was a hay and lin operation. Yes, sir. Yep.
Awesome. I love I find poultry so fascinating just from like an
Mm-hmm.
outside perspective because Mr. Bustle, one of my advisors,
Mm-hmm.
he always jokes about, well, if you can't be good at anything else, just do a poultry speech contest
Exactly.
because
Exactly.
very little few people do it, but I think it's very interesting.
No, it is a lot of fun. They're
And
sweet.
so like you said, your grandfather was a poultry farmer that retired.
Yeah.
So when you were growing up, did you maybe not at the time, but do
Yeah.
you think that maybe like being exposed to like agriculture at like a young age maybe like pushed you into like having
Mm-hmm.
more of a fondness for it when you were older?
Absolutely. Like it laid the foundation at the end of the day. And as you mentioned, it didn't click then. But now looking back into when I was looking at different careers and also my appreciation for agriculture and my why at the time, I mean, it does draw back to my roots. Me and my grandfather aren't super connected in a bunches of ways. But now, even with this, I've been able to learn things about him that he was the Kentucky Poultry Association president at one time. And that, like, there's so many things about my grandfather that I didn't know. And based off of this, we were able to grow like a connection that I'm only able to share with him, which is really special. So as I continue to grow like my knowledge of the agriculture industry, specifically within poultry, only the connection with my grandfather grows. I mean, that's something that I'm very grateful for as well.
Right, and I've always because I had something similar. Because I'm
Mm-hmm.
from Lexington, I'm not really from a traditional ag background.
Uh-huh.
I live in more of the suburbs. I live
Mm-hmm.
near Winchester, so like really
Yeah.
southern Lexington, so kind of near the horse farms. But my
Yeah.
grandmother, she lives on a farm that
Okay.
used to run beef and horses. So whenever I would visit her house, I would just like lay outside and just like pet the horses that came up. And I
I
was like
love it.
5 or something, so
Yeah.
I like just thought cute animal, and I didn't really think about it. But as I like
Yeah.
look back on, it, I'm like, that probably laid the foundation of me being interested in
Absolutely.
agriculture without me even really realizing it because I didn't really get involved until 6th grade for FFA, or like knew
Yeah.
anything about agriculture until then.
Yeah.
And
No, that's great.
so, what? This is a question. It's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know how to word it.
I love it.
When did you get super involved in FFA? Like, I
Mm-hmm.
know, especially, I have experienced this. My friends have experienced this, but
Uh-huh.
they didn't really have like they got involved in FFA, but it didn't really click and come together until a certain point or like a certain like time that was
Yeah.
not when they got involved.
No, definitely. I think everybody kind of has that like that click moment. And as I mentioned earlier, the Shark Tank competition was really good for my FFA journey and with being more independent within it. But my FFA like time that clicked, I'll never forget it. It was my first state convention. So right after my freshman year, I was competing in the marketing sales competition with two of my best friends. And I will never forget, it was the first general session, and it was opening ceremonies, and it was FFA like members, why are we here? And I remember the three taps of that gavel, and we all stood up, and immediately, I mean, like cold chills, like what a powerful movement that no matter where you come from, like no matter what your background is, your socioeconomic status, like what your family is, like no matter where you come from, we are all united within that. And it was like, I'm like speaking this truth with 25,000 other people that like I don't even know. And what a blessing that is to be a part of something that is so much bigger than myself. And it really truly clicked in that one moment that no matter where I was, excuse me, no matter where I was like in life or how I was doing in that moment, like I have a home within FFA that like I never knew I needed, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I I think that like keeps going even after like so I joined FFA in 6th grade because
Mm-hmm.
I was put in agri-science class,
Yeah.
and I did love it, and I did go to the meetings, but it didn't really click for me until my
Yeah.
7th grade year, where I went to national convention
Mm-hmm.
for just like a little day trip since we are so close to Indianapolis. It's
Yeah.
not really too crazy. So we went to a single day field trip,
Mm-hmm.
and we went to a general session, and it like blew me away how many people were in there. Like just blew my mind,
Mm-hmm.
and like, oh, this is more than this is so much bigger than I actually think it is.
Yeah.
And then my freshman year, so last year, because I am only a sophomore, we
There you go.
uh I did junior parley, so junior parliamentary
Uh-huh.
procedure, and
Yes.
that was the first competition I was like, this is really fun. I need to do more of those.
Yeah.
And so now I'm doing senior parley. I'm doing a lot more competitions, and it's really fun.
I love it. That's so good. I also had my start with junior parlay as well.
It
Yep.
I in my head I always have like certain events stationed like uh beginner friendly, for lack of a better
Yeah.
term. So like FFA Creed, obviously Creed speaking, it's
Yes.
very beginner friendly because it's only for people who are first really getting
Yeah.
started. Then junior parley because it's like the way I kind of like to describe it. It's like public speaking, but it's public speaking on a team, so you're not the only one
Absolutely.
standing up. So it's like a nice little like dipping your toes in to see if you
Yeah.
enjoy it. And yeah, those are just so much fun,
No,
and
lots of fun
especially very easy to get involved with at first.
involved. Absolutely.
So, um, what was okay? What did you reset?
Hmm.
Um, uh, so a lot of chapters like kind of have like this defining feature about them.
Hmm.
Like some chapters, like I forgot their name. I feel so bad, but this one chapter they
Hmm.
have like this drive your tractor to school day during FFA
Uh-huh.
week.
Yeah.
What was your chapter's kind of like what you're known for,
Yeah.
like specialty?
At Cowley County, there was multiple different things that we like to take pride in. But one of the main things that sticks out to me that even this year they had pretty good success with was SAEs. Like I said earlier, SAEs were very influential in my life and in my FFA journey. So we as in Cowley County, they put a lot of emphasis on SAEs. And as a future agriculture educator, I definitely want to move that forward just because I do know how impactful they are. So essays was a really big one. Community service was also big, but not only just with service, but also community connections. Our advisors, Ms. Miller and Dr. Falwell, they put a really big emphasis on the power of networking. Through that, I was able to grow so much confidence, not only within my community, but also with my professionalism skills. So would definitely say that SAEs and then networking was something that was really big, but also like not as like commercialized to the public as some might say, but like looking back on hindsight of my experience, it would definitely be those two things.
Yeah, and networking is such a useful skill. Like
Yeah.
I um am so I go to Locust Trace, and we have one of our
Uh-huh.
classes is ag communications, so it's
Uh-huh.
focusing mainly on so it's like doing communication skills, but in like ag based like
Uh-huh.
scenarios. So like things in FFA, like cover letter stuff, or like just
Yeah.
general communication skills, but with a slight bit of agriculture coat of paint on it,
Yeah, I
and
love that. Yeah, I love that.
it was such a fun and just informational class because I learned how to network, how to do my cover letter, how to do a bunch of like how to properly do like how to properly be interviewed and
Yeah.
give interview answers, like the whole SMART goals thing about like state it. I forgot it, but I know how to do it. Is the main
Yeah.
bottom line.
We were taught.
Yeah, I was taught and I got an A on that test, so
There we
it's
go.
good enough. Um, what did your like FFA journey kind of not your necessarily your FFA journey, but like your officer thing? Like, did you um start out saying like, oh, I I want to be a leader, I want to be in these leadership positions, or did it
Yeah.
something that you kind of grew into, or maybe be forced into?
I really like that question. So I've always known that I really enjoy being a leader. Even before FFA with extracurriculars, I mean, I was involved in multiple different things like speech team and Girl Scouts and things like that. I've always loved being a leader at different levels. So it was kind of natural for me to step into a leadership role at the chapter level. So I started off as chapter reporter and I absolutely loved it. I loved being the reporter. And then my senior year, I was able to step up to chapter president, which was a lot of fun and super cool. And then going like throughout the chapter, like time, seeing like the impact that as a leader people had on me and the impact that I could have on other people was really inspiring. So that kind of pushed me forward. I guess the end of my junior year to run for a regional office, which was super fun. Being able to work on a team with people that I don't see often, that was a lot of fun. And while looking back, I do wish I was able to meet more people within the region. Um, it was such a great experience, truly based off of like the learning opportunities of like what leadership can look like. Because it's so much more than just like being on a team, you know? And I think regional office really did teach me that. I mean, set me up well for state office. And as I tell so many people, I mean, state office is the biggest blessing of my life. And I've been able to grow in ways that I can't even put into words. And also gain a family that I never knew I needed.
Yeah, and how did that kind of look like? Because I've asked Aiden mainly
Yeah.
this, Matthew, Michaela, Anna
Hmm.
about this, and they've all kind of had something similar, but like that, like being nervous about it, but kind of just going for it to see what happens. Is that something that you can
Yeah.
kind of like more attest to?
Definitely being nervous. But especially whenever I went into like the state officer candidacy process, I wanted to make sure that at the end of the day, like it was God's plan, and I was walking in that way and keeping my faith in that way. But at the end of the day, I was absolutely nervous. But also I was able to realize the power of a mentor. So my mentor, Dr. Christy Geffey, I'll bring her on stage at convention. But she really kind of walked me through what it can look like of being a mentor is also having self discovery. She taught me a lot of things about myself that I had no idea that I knew and that I even held. So I was able to learn so much about myself even before I went through the SOC process based off of her help. But that only kind of just set me up to be a successful state officer and to grow and create the great connections that I have so far.
Right, and like two of my friends, Faustin, Luca, and Haley Tucker,
Yes.
they recently just went through the SOC process, and they're about to be
Yes.
Bluegrass State uh, officer
Yes.
candidates, which is very exciting for me
Very exciting.
because I know them both pretty well.
Yay.
Uh, they're both from Fayette County because he's from
Mm-hmm.
Prodigy, Haley's
Yes.
from my chapter, Locust Trace. So
Yes.
we all know each other, and it's very cool that I know these two people, and
That's so
wait
good.
for con I can't wait for convention. It's going to be so much fun.
Convention's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be a lot of
Yes,
fun.
especially because I've like met a lot of the state officers.
Yeah.
I've gone on my way to meet you guys. I've
Yeah.
met Lillian Island. I can't wait to actually see her in person.
Yes. That'll be super cool.
Yes, and just state convention is very fun, and it'll be actually my first state convention where I actually go to the general
Yes.
session, or
Yes.
like actually do state convention, if that makes
Yeah.
sense, because I've only ever gone one other time, and that was for a competition. I did the agri-science fair, but I couldn't stay for very long. I was there for like 20
Yeah.
minutes. I had to get in
Nice.
there, present. and immediately go back to what I was doing because I was doing this like summer school
Yeah.
thing where I had to
Mm.
basically beg on my hands and knees for them to even let me go. Uh,
Bless.
but it was worth it because it was really fun to
Yeah.
do, and it was
Well,
my
that's so
first.
exciting.
It's my first little. I get Yeah, that was my first ever competition I've ever done for FFA.
That's super cool. Super
Yeah.
cool. Well, hopefully this year you can have the full SLC
Yes.
experience.
Yes.
Yes.
I really hope. I'm sure I will.
Yeah, it'll be so much
So,
fun.
have you gone to a national convention before, state
Yes,
office? What
I
was that
did.
like for you?
Oh, I mean, it was so cool. I mean, like you're walking through the streets of Indianapolis, a place I've never been before, and I mean, walking into Lucas Oil, like holy cow, that's crazy. And seeing so many different people. I mean, I've never seen so much navy blue in my life. I guess national blue, but I've never seen so much national blue in my life. But I mean, what a surreal experience it is, and very similar to like my click moment in FFA of how impactful like something like that shows like your community that you didn't know that you had. I mean, I think a national convention just encompasses that. Meeting so many different people, so seeing so many different states on the back of those jackets. I mean, it's so inspiring. And of course, like I love the things like getting free Culvers and going to the concert and things like that. Like, yes, that's so fun. But how powerful is it that we get the opportunity to spend a week with people from all over the nation?
Right, and it's like I've met like friends from there. I've met some new
Yeah,
people. It's just I've been to a few what's it called? Workshops.
yeah,
FFA workshops. I've been to as many general sessions as we are able to go. Uh
yeah,
it was just so much fun because we got to like I don't know, there's just something special about National Convention.
yeah,
Like just even just walking around like the main convention like the expo hall and just seeing a
yeah,
bunch of these like ag based companies and like doing networking like I was talking about, meeting new people,
yeah,
asking questions,
absolutely.
which is something that I've continued that thing of like at the farm machinery show in
Hmm.
Louisville during February, I think it
Hmm.
was.
Yep.
Uh, and I just went around and I just saw so many like cool things, like because I love ag mechanics and just that
Hmm.
all that stuff. So
Yeah.
talking to these people who have the same interests that I do, seeing cool stuff that I've actually learned about what they are for, but I've never actually like. There was this one company that I think they're from Minnesota. The guy sounded like he was from Minnesota. He had a very
Hmm.
like uh
Yes.
the like really northern part of the
Uh,
U.S. But they were this company that were selling these like little cranes to pick up and move bee boxes. So for like
okay.
because bees are like transported all throughout the country for like pollination season, which is something that like not even like 2 weeks before I went on that field trip, we actually learned about in one of my classes. So that was a
That's
very like
cool.
interesting thing, and I saw how they were doing it because we were watching this documentary, and they were using like forklifts, which cannot be fast at all because
Yeah.
they were like these really big 18 wheelers with like pallets upon pallets of these bee boxes, and then and this company was selling like this little crane that could like move them
Hmm.
from. It was really cool,
Yeah.
and just
That's cool.
meeting stuff like that, going to the Kentuckiana Dog Show, asking about animal science stuff, all that stuff was so fun. So,
Yeah.
have you okay? Did you go to the Kentucky Leadership Camp before state office?
Yes, I did. I went twice before. Yes.
Yes, the happiest place on earth, in my opinion. It's so much fun.
Absolutely.
It was so much fun. So,
Hmm.
I guess something that can tie into that, but maybe not. When did it? So, walk me through getting elected, hearing your name
Yeah.
called, Jacee McKeel, for
Yeah.
state office.
Absolutely. I mean, what a moment it was. But like even like looking back on this year, that doesn't even make the top 10 coolest moments. I mean, so yes, that was a lot of fun running on stage. I mean, afterwards they have a pretty quick process where they get us all of the things that and the information we need. We go home for a little bit. We go to base training, and you're with a group of 11 people that you may not have known at all before state officer candidacy, and you spend an entire week together. And through this entire week, like I said, I made my best friends and a family. And so we spent that week together, and then the next thing you do is go to camp, like you mentioned. And I absolutely loved camp. Camp was one of the best experiences as a state officer. It's like I said, happiest place on earth, super fun. So we went there. We went to State Officer Summit in Washington D.C. We did some advocating on the Hill. Got to meet some really cool people like Mitch McConnell and some other senators and congressmen. We did a lot of things like that. We had checkpoint, and then of course school started, and then chapter visits. So there's just been a lot going on. But to kind of tie back to camp, like I said, it was so much fun. And looking into the future, if you're going to be at camp this year, I will be on camp staff, which is super exciting. So not carrying on state office at all, but maybe just transitioning my journey a little bit further to prepare me to be an ag educator.
Right. And I am, if everything works out, hopefully I will be there. Fingers
Hopefully,
crossed.
yes,
Because I went last year, and
yeah.
that's how I met Clinton. I met Michaela, and I met Aiden because they were all there.
Okay, so you were 4th of July week
Yes, I was
with
4th of July
Thaddeus.
week.
Okay,
Yes,
got
and I also
it.
met Thaddeus, which
Cool.
that was also, and I'm so thankful for that entire camp because
Yeah,
that's how this got started.
really.
This got started there. I was kind of the first day. I was like, oh my god, that is Bert Snyder. I saw that dude get elected. I watched
Yeah.
him go up on stage and do the thing last year. He's a national officer. Holy
Uh-huh.
crap! This is probably gonna be the only time I ever get to actually talk to him because Caroline Growth, she's from my chapter, so I do
Yes.
see her quite a lot. But for Thaddeus and all the other ones, it's like I'll
Yeah.
never see them again, most likely until they're already leaving. And then I was like, okay. I was like, well, what am I gonna do? Am I just gonna say hi? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna remember that. Yeah, sure, I can take a photo of that, but it's not gonna be uh super special. But I was like, what if I just interview him? And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, how am I gonna interview him? And I was like, okay, I'll just write it down. And I was like, okay, maybe that's a bit bad because I'm not a fast typer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm not really great at like doing two things at once. Like I'm very much so like a one person.
Uh-huh.
Like I get tunnel vision very bad, but I can focus on that one thing really, really good, and that one
Yeah.
thing only really good. So I was like, okay, I'll just record it. What could be the harm in that? So I recorded it. I was like, oh, I actually like this. This is actually pretty cool. Well, who else is here? And Commissioner Shell was going to be there the next day. So like, oh, I can interview him. I can interview Mr. Mitchum. I can interview all the state officers. So I did that, and I was like, okay, cool. Where do I go from here? I was like, because Anna, she challenged me. She was like, you, she said to me after, pardon, I'm a bit out of breath because, pardon, I'm a bit out of breath. I just got back from musical rehearsal, so I was singing and dancing the
Mm.
entire time,
Oh yeah. No, that's
and it's
awesome.
really,
No,
really
you're
hot.
fine.
But she challenged me after she was like, "Hey, I challenge you to make it a essay." I was like, "Okay," and
Yeah.
I didn't really know you could actually do more than one SAE. I thought you could only do one.
Yeah.
Um, I was surprised that you could actually do more than one and even more than two if you so choose.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I was so I was like, okay, I'll do that. And then I went as soon as I got home. I for the first time I think forever, and I think the only time I will open AET with glee and joy.
I love that right there. Yeah.
Like
I felt.
it, I love AET because it's such a good tool. Like it's
Uh-huh.
so much better. It's really nice. It's very convenient. That doesn't mean I want to go on it.
Yes.
Like no, but so as soon as I got home from camp, I immediately started uh, putting it in as an SAE, and then I immediately started sending out emails and messages to people, and
That's so good.
it ended up here with you.
Yeah. No, that's so good. What like an inspirational story. That's amazing,
Yeah,
Connor.
and I will now use this story to lead this into another question. So,
Okay.
as you've gone along long, when so I think for me at least I like to think I'm a tiny bit a part of it because I like doing
Yeah.
that. But at least for your fellow state officers, when did it kind of feel real that oh my goodness, I'm a state officer. People view me as a state officer, and this is like things that people like hold in such not necessarily like super high
Hmm.
regard, but are like you are what the people you're talking to want to be and aspire to be. Like
Yeah.
when did that kind of hit you that members see you as oh my goodness, it's not just oh hey, it's Jacee McKeel from Callaway County.
Yep.
Oh my God, it's Jacee McKeel from Callaway County. Instead, it's oh my goodness, that's Jacee McKeel. She's the Kentucky State President. I got to go talk to her.
Yeah. I like to be completely honest with you. If it's even clicked now, I mean, of course, at FFA camp, that was super cool. Just because I think that the state does a really good job of highlighting state officers and letting them kind of dip their toes into what being a state officer can look like. So through that, I was able to definitely like understand like my roles and things like that, and that was super cool. But honestly, like when it clicked of like, oh, people know me because I'm a state officer, was probably it probably didn't click until probably the first of the semester or even towards FFA week. Just because like I would be like out in like public, like at Walmart, and like people would be like, "Oh my gosh, like hi," and I'm like, "Hi." So there's a lot of times where like people say hi to me and it's like like I don't know if you know me from OFA, like just like the crossroads and things, but it's just so amazing that like I'm able to be on such a platform where I'm able to be recognized for something that I'm so passionate about. And while I do need to continue on making these connections in the last couple months that we have left, it still doesn't feel real that I'm the state officer that I always dreamed and aspired to be, because I think a lot of the times we all have a perceived reality of what that would look like. But looking onto my experiences, my expectations didn't even hold up to what this experience has been. So meeting all of the people, like going the places, being on a team, doing the workshops, attending the trainings. I mean, it has been such a blessing. But also one that like it doesn't feel real like I'm a state officer like I thought I would be.
Yeah, and this is something that Amelia Tucker told me when I interviewed her.
Yeah.
She said to me, it will never, it still, like, she didn't even realize how much of an impact she had on others and the amount of FFA has an impact on her life and state offices had on her until she was no longer a state officer.
Yeah.
Like, it's, it's only going to become, I guess, more clear with time because, hindsight's
Hmm.
2020 and all
Yeah, absolutely.
makes it all more
Yeah.
clear.
And I
And
can't wait to see that.
yeah, and you guys have been so busy. You've had
Hmm.
state convention to start planning for.
Absolutely.
How has that been?
Oh, it's been so much fun. I mean, me and Tyron were working on the state officer report, seeing like the amazing members of Kentucky FFA and the chapters that we get to highlight. Of course, like one of their opening ceremonies, and also like looking through the amazing members that I get to announce. Things like that have been a lot of fun. Also, like planning the convention theme Bound for More. Like that's super exciting. So it's just been such like a surreal process of actually being able to be a part of it this year. So it's been so much fun. Busy, yes. Still working on it, yes. Started memorizing yet? No, but we'll get there. But it is gonna be such an amazing week where we get to recognize the members that deserve it most. And I'm so excited to celebrate those members with everybody.
Right. And Tyrone mentioned, yay! Because
Yes, love Tyron.
yes, because he went to Carter G. Woodson,
Yes.
which so because I go to Electric, I go to two schools,
Yes.
and Carter G. Woodson is a part of the other school I go to because
Got it.
it's very weird. They have this like
Frederick
hallway thing.
Douglass, is that the
Yeah,
other way that you
Douglas.
go?
Yeah,
Yes. Okay. Tyron's described this to me.
yeah.
Yes.
It's a very weird setup, but
Uh-huh.
I remember seeing him all last year.
He's great. I
Yeah,
love him.
and so how so like you said, you've been planning, you've
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you've been mulling over, I guess, like trying to memorize or write your addresses as tough as
Yeah.
it is, which I
Yeah.
I,
We're
I
moving
always
on.
yeah, it's it's
Yeah.
it's very sad, but it's also my favorite part of
Yeah.
convention. Like national convention, I always love hearing retiring addresses because
Yeah.
it feels so cool to see the impact like FA has had on your lives. Something that like I'm never gonna truly understand until like I'm out of the jacket. Whatever
Yeah.
that may be, maybe in 4 years, maybe more. Like
Yeah.
2 years. I mean 2 years. Like, and that's gonna be such a eye-opening experience when I, start going to college and I get involved in agriculture things there, like conservation boards and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and I meet, these like-minded individuals, like how much it's affected me,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
that's why I love FFA. It's very cool. Everyone should
Me
join it.
too.
Yes,
Yes.
I also think it's just me. I love FFA in middle schools. I think
Hmm.
that's a really, really, really good idea because that's how I got started. And I
Hmm.
don't think I would ever have gotten started if I didn't have FFA in my middle school.
Yeah.
And I think, like, I think at that age of middle school, I think it's very, very important to, like, start talking to people about agriculture because, um, it's as sad as it may be, when you're in your freshman year or you're like just starting high school, you're so less likely to actually start to get involved with something.
Hmm.
Like, and I've like experienced that on a first-hand basis because
Hmm.
I love theater, but I didn't do theater my freshman year until the very end, and I really regret that.
Yeah.
Now I'm doing it and I'm more active in it now, but before then I kind of now I regret it, and I feel like a lot of people might regret not doing it. Obviously, they may not know that they not that they regret doing not doing it if they never even learn. So I think
Absolutely.
it's very important for there to be middle school chapters, and on top of that, an idea that I love that I've seen other people do is that an ag education day at like elementary schools
Hmm. Absolutely.
because like there's not really much in depth you can actually go for elementary schoolers because there's not really much that they can actually comprehend because they're
Hmm.
so young and don't have that like levels of knowledge based to get and start learning that stuff. But
Hmm.
like talking to them about like something even as like basic as like recycling or
Hmm.
what composition is or pollination or just showing that agriculture is more than just being a farmer because
Absolutely.
that is um I think the number one detractor for people when getting involved in agriculture or anything
Definitely.
is that they think it's just farming. It's not. It's a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of things. It's a lot of things.
Yeah,
Our
and
producers are just a big part of it.
hmm and I think that idea, if like we can show people and show like these kids who are still young and still can absorb new things and are better at understanding new things, if we, oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, um,
No, you're fine. Me too.
if we like be like, hey, agriculture is not just this; it also includes this, this, and this, because I was taught things relating to agriculture all through elementary school. I never knew it though, because no one
Yeah.
ever told me, "Oh, this is agriculture." It was always just, "This is science, and
Yeah.
this is how plants work." And I was like, "That's cool. I like plants. Plants are cool."
Yeah.
And then I didn't know it was agricultural. It was had anything to do
Absolutely.
with agriculture. I had no idea. And like we had this in elementary school. One of our science teachers, he had this aquaponics system where we grew cabbage with fish and fertilized the cabbage with fish manure. I had no idea I'd be doing that exact same thing, but on a
Yeah.
slightly larger scale within like a few years.
Absolutely.
So I just think it's
It
very,
is a lot of
very
cool.
important. And it's just a agriculture FFA is just fun. I'm as 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 much as we can talk about, its amazing benefits, like the amount of scholarships and opportunities and just cool stuff you get to learn and do. At the end of the day, people like in high school all want to do things that they find fun, and FFA is just fun.
It's
Like
fun. Yeah.
like uh me in Foston, who I mentioned earlier, we I called him he called me the other day to talk about something, and we were
Hmm.
talking about how he didn't really get involved in FFA until the first after school meal.
Yeah. No, seriously. Yes. The food and the trips can get you. That's how they get you.
Yeah, that's
And
how they
then
get you.
you drink the Kool-Aid and you're in it. Yes.
Yep. That's what we're that's what we at Locust Race do all the time. Like during our FFA meetings, because they're during school, um,
Uh-huh.
we provide food.
Uh-huh.
Like, and usually we make the food because
Yeah.
through our livestock or through our aquaponics or
Yeah.
just our greenhouses, we make the food, and we're like, hey, you can get more of this if you come to FFA stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Just a
Like,
perk.
I I um I convinced a kid today to fill out his executive team application, so committee chair stuff.
Yeah,
I convinced him to fill it out and turn it in and did it with him today by telling him, "Hey, you get to go on a lot of field trips."
exactly.
Yeah, and you get
And
free
like
food. He
what
was
an
like,
impact that'll have and what it'll
"Yeah,"
learn and things. Absolutely.
and I think that's uh the the little pushes that we give each other, like our advisors, like the amount of stuff I would not be the amount of stuff I reluctantly did but ended up loving because of my advisors or because of my fellow FFA members, like Abby Knox. Uh,
Yeah.
she is super amazing. In my freshman year, we had this freshman leadership conference where freshmen could go and learn about FFA stuff, and I went and we had this like little thing about like little debate thing about like, oh, is pizza better cold or warm or something like that, and she and she was like, "Wow, you really are good at like debating or talking or something like that."
Hmm.
And I was like, "Okay." And she was like, "You should do junior parley." And I was like, "What in the world is that?" She was like, "Oh, it's this like debate team thing." I was like, "Okay, I guess so." And here we are.
Yeah.
I'm
That's so cool.
and we're going to state for senior parley, and it's gonna be
That's me so good.
yes. Or Mr. Craig, uh, basically handing me a little form for uh what's it called? The speech contest saying, "Hey, you're gonna
Uh-huh.
do this last year,"
Yes.
and I did it.
I love it.
And also, Miss Bros and we have like 8 advisors, so we have like so
Yeah.
many. She handed me an executive team application, said, "Hey, you're gonna do this,"
Good.
and
That's so
just
good.
and I truly think these like little pushes are the main foundation for FFA,
Hmm.
because
Absolutely.
FFA is so special in that the people who help run it, the teachers who run it, were in our shoes when they were younger. Most ag teachers were involved in FFA at some point in their lives, and they know what it can do for you. Like Mr. Craig, uh, he's so awesome, but he always says to people when they're uh, apprehensive to doing contests, he always says, "I've never met a person who says that they wish they did less in FFA.
Yeah.
Like it's
I love
always
that.
they always wish that they did more because there is so much to do." And I still
Yeah.
wish I did more. And I do as much
Yeah.
as I possibly can. And I just think that's such a fun and special thing that no other student organization or any
Absolutely.
like organization with students actually have.
Absolutely.
Like this organization that is ran by students, but also the teachers who help guide you were there in your shoes at some point, so they know. And just
Absolutely.
having like all these like different experiences of your teachers being like, "Hey, you should do this," and because they always like they did to you, like your advisor did to you. They always see something in yourself that you don't see in yourself, and the amount
Absolutely.
of stuff that can get you to do is just amazing. Like, would you be here if he didn't call your dad one day?
I would not.
Exactly,
I would not.
and that's truly special,
Absolutely.
and just yeah, it's special. I can't say how special it is. I've said special like 20 different times in this like little monologue, for lack of a better term, but it's truly a special occasion that we can do this organization that we love and do it with people that we're friends with and are like similarly minded in what we're interested, because in FFA you kind of have to be involved, like um to be an FFA member you already have to be involved in it already.
Yeah.
Like, it's and other stuff like NHS or beta, you don't really have to do much to join or be a part of it, but at least for FFA, in order to like be a member, you already have to be in an ag class. You already have to do this hands-on learning. You already have to do all
Mhm.
that. So it's not much of a step up. You just kind of have to be doing slightly more than you're already doing, or even continue doing the things you are doing, but just do them at like this fancy place with like old people, judges looking at you, right?
Yeah.
And so an absolute 180. But what did what did like waiting to be interviewed for your state officer stuff kind of look like?
I mean, honestly, very nerve-wracking, of course. But like I said, under my mentor, Dr. Christy Guffey, I was able to walk in with enough confidence in myself. Not very well rested, of course, because you're worrying about everything. But once you're in the room with your fellow socks and things, um, of course you're nervous. But I was definitely able to be confident in my skills that whatever needed to happen was going to happen. Um, in that room, whenever they called names, things like that. But it was a great experience overall.
Right. And Michaela, she one I love this thing that she always has told me, and then I'm sure she says it a lot more, but um you are always in a place for a reason.
Hmm.
Like, you wouldn't be a state officer if someone didn't believe in you, was like, hey, I think she can do this and do it well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you
Absolutely.
ever, this is like more general, like imposter syndrome, or just feeling like a bit of,
Yeah,
just feeling like, oh, I don't deserve it. Well, you were put here for a reason. That probably means someone saw something for you.
absolutely.
Maybe you didn't see it, and it's very hard to see it, but someone did, and it got you here. Like,
Absolutely.
and how have I know you've kind of touched on it a bit, but like, and how your advisors have affected you, but why have you decided to like go into agriculture education?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like you said, I've mentioned my agriculture educators and my FFA advisors, and while they have absolutely changed my life and opened up so many doors, at the end of the day, why I want to be an agriculture educator is because of my why for agriculture. And I don't think I've actually ever shared this in an interview before, but I love agriculture so much. Number one, because of all the opportunities that we were talking about earlier. But number two, teaching people about the creation of the world and how to upkeep it and how to sustain it and how to love it the way that it should be is such a powerful thing to me, and a way of informing consumers of like this is what agriculture actually is, teaching people how to like be a part of agriculture themselves. There's so many things within the industry that we've talked about so much already, but I think that it's at so many people's fingertips that all that they need is a good teacher or a mentor. And in my place where I'll be able to be an ag educator, where I can be able to bring this information to them, where they are able to not only understand like how powerful like they are as a person, and like the impact that they can have, but also like the big, beautiful world of agriculture. So while yes, I do love FFA and I do like love all the leadership possibilities that come with it. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm gonna be an agriculture educator and I'm going to teach the future generations about ag. And one of the beautiful parts about that job is where most likely, Lord willing, I'll be able to be an FFA advisor and show them that while yes, like you will have the opportunities in the toolkit to go out into the world of ag and with your leadership skills. But at the end of the day, I get the amazing opportunity to show kids something that they may not know, or like we mentioned multiple times, that they have learned before but never knew it was agriculture.
Right. And I think it's so cool that a lot of state officers or national officers or a lot of people who do like ag and agriculture always love giving back to it in some way. Like it says in
Mm-hmm.
the creed, for future and past generations. Like just that idea of seeing how the people in front of you, how you're like uh, how all of your predecessors have laid out the groundwork for you to like walk, and then you know they have started paving the sidewalk for you to walk. Now it's your turn to do the same for the people behind you,
Absolutely.
and that's just so amazing and just
Absolutely.
cool. Like I love it. And just seeing like people being interested in like this and wanting to teach others is always just a fun sight to see because it's something that I so deeply care about. I didn't know I cared so much about it till I got
Mm-hmm.
involved, but now that I've like kind of had my eyes forcefully peeled open, it's like this is so cool. And there's just so much to do, so much to learn. Like I am so angry that I only have 4 years.
Yeah.
Like I only have 4 years. And two are already kind of gone for high school, and then
Yeah.
because I go to Locust Trace, we have so many agriculture classes, and I want to take them all because they're all so cool. Everything from doing floriculture and horticulture and greenhouse stuff, from to doing ag mechanics. Like they're all so amazing. Like I am doing vet science and ag mechanics and environmental science, and there's still so much that I want to do. I want to learn more about
Mm-hmm.
horses. I want to learn
Yeah.
more about aquaponics and wildlife. I want to learn how to make flower arrangements because they're all it's so cool and just
Absolutely.
and I just always love like for myself and for people around me to have a lifelong learner mentality of just
Mm-hmm.
always willing to ask questions, always willing to learn. I'm so sorry. I'm
You're fine. You don't
and just
apologize.
always wanting to learn.
Yeah.
And as much as I would love to talk more and more about FFA, what do you do outside of FFA in high school and even now?
Yeah, in high school, I mean, FFA was my bread and butter. But besides that, I've always enjoyed working. I have kind of dipped my toes in a little bit of everything whenever it comes to working. I've been a waitress for probably 5 years. I would now work at Murray State University in the graduate admissions office doing office work. I've been a secretary at a all-star gymnastics and cheer institute. I love to work. Um, that's just a passion of mine. But outside of like working things like that in high school, I was involved in FBLA, UCS, student council, things like that. Different extracurriculars at high school. Now in college, state office does take up an extent like a ton of my time. But besides that, I am involved in a sorority, Alpha Sigma Alpha. I do really enjoy that. That's been great. Kind of provides like just a different tone of pace sometimes whenever FFA can be a lot, just with scheduling and things like that. Like I said, I work on campus. Of course, I have a bunch of friends on campus and then take classes, but I like to keep myself busy, especially with the FFA right now, and then definitely after I retire for sure.
Yeah, I kind of share that same thing. I love to work. Like
Hmm.
I will I will go out of my way to find something to do or like volunteer for things just because I love keeping myself busy.
Yeah,
Um, like for one of my essays, I intern at a vet clinic
yeah,
um every Saturday. and I love it. I love working. I love working with animals, and just all that kind of stuff is just interesting. And then, what is UCS? I've never heard of that. I've heard of FBLA.
Yeah.
I
So
haven't heard of
UCS
UCS.
is Unified Champion Schools, and it works directly alongside Special Olympics. So like we are like paired with the buddy system, and then also we work directly with them with their sports team. So I know that we had like a UCS track team that had um. I was not on the track team. Trust, I was not running, but did not do that. But like we had members, a part of UCS that like ran track with the Special Olympics, which was a lot of fun. It kind of set me up for the sorority now. One of our big things is Special Olympics as well. So that was definitely cool being from Murray. So Murray State is inside Callaway County. So like Murray is home. So just being able to have like a continuous impact on my community through that has been really cool.
Right, and I think that's actually really cool. I wish we did something similar because that actually
Yeah,
sounds very fun.
it is cool.
For people who are more athletic than I,
Yeah, not me.
not me. I stick to FFA and I stick to theater, and that's where I
I
kind
get
of
it. I get it.
like. I tried to do cross country in elementary school and a little bit of middle school.
It's not me.
Once you got above a mile in running and had to do a fist,
Yeah, nah.
no, not
Jacee
for
couldn't
me.
do that.
I I can't even. Well, I was doing a lot better then because I was actually actively running like almost every single day.
Yeah,
Now I can't run a mile
that's
like
okay. Me
without getting
neither.
so what did you do for FBLA? Like what specific
Um,
competition did you do?
Parley. I did Parley in FBLA, which is a little bit different than I wasn't super involved in FBLA. I did it because a lot of my friends were in it. Um but I did Parley and then I also did um sales and marketing. So very similar to competitions I did in FFA. I loved my time in FBLA, but that is not where I spent a lot of my time for sure.
What okay, what does Parley look like in FBLA?
So it's very similar. We still do Robert's Rules of Order, but you get prep time beforehand to practice it as a team, and then you like have to read off secretaries and treasurers minutes, and it's been forever since I've done it. But it was very different coming in from somebody who had done junior parley and had done senior parley and was chair for both of those, going in and having to figure out this weird world of FBLA parley, which, I mean, nothing wrong with it. I mean, a meeting can be a meeting, but just not what I was used to. So, like I said, I did have a lot of fun with an FBLA and my other extracurriculars, but it just wasn't where my heart was at.
So like what prep like do they get to look at the card before they go in?
Yes. But
Oh,
not everybody had a specific ability. It was like, so rather than somebody has amend, somebody has question of privilege, somebody has suspend the rules, it was like you had three different scenarios. So, like, one was like somebody says an offensive comment, and like you have to figure that out. Some, like, there's a guest speaker coming. Like, it didn't tell you what abilities you had to do, it told you scenarios, and then you had to figure out
the
which
abilities?
abilities. Yes.
Okay.
So, it was kind of like flip flopped in a way.
Okay. That
Yeah.
that's really interesting. Because
Yeah.
when you were talking about it and when I first asked, I was like, "Oh, you get to see the card after." I feel like a FFA like partly team could like roll through them, but
Yeah.
no, it's like
Well,
very
if you
different.
looked at like the state level at FBLA, a lot of them, and of course not all of them, but like a lot of the people that were like I was competing against, I knew because it was FFA kids
Yeah.
doing it. It's like we were all in the same boat. We had all done it, and it was all different for a bunch of us. But like, there's like people that like I'm still friends with, like FFA friends with, but I didn't meet them at FFA. I met them at FBLA. But like at the end of the day, I mean, we're FFA kids, so you know.
Yeah, and the whole like guest speaker coming. We do so for our parlay team, we like to have like specific set out things to say for like things that like have to have a scenario for them. So like lay on the table, we almost say verbatim. I move to lay this item of business on the table, or because our guest speaker has arrived earlier or whatever.
Mhm.
We do almost that exact same thing. So that's
Yeah.
actually really that's really interesting. I'll have to
Yeah.
ask the people who do FBLA at Douglas about it, because
Yeah.
that's interesting. I'll have to see
Mhm.
if I can convince people to do barley.
Yeah.
um, so the final question that I usually like to
Yeah.
end off with is, so all throughout FFA, it's we see the creed everywhere. So like
Mhm.
I swear I see it almost every single day hanging up in someone's classroom or someone's talking
Yeah.
about the creed. To you, what is the most important not line, paragraph, section of the creed to you and you specifically that like maybe
Yeah.
it has something to do with like your why or it has to do with something that
Mhm.
you like deeply believe in?
Yeah, absolutely. One that immediately comes to mind is to exert an influence on my home and community. And whenever I'm looking into that, I think that number one is the foundation of what FFA is, but not only the foundation of FFA, but the foundation of who I believe I am and the character that I want to uphold. And as a future agriculture educator, like my goal in life, whenever I was going back to a previous question of whenever we were looking at like going into state office, one of the things that I did was kind of understand like what my top three values were in life. And at the end of the day, what it was is I want to let my light shine. And no matter what that might look like, no matter where I'm at, I want my light to exert an influence on my home and my community. So just the way that I hold myself, the way that I want to make an impact on other people, and specifically the way that people have an impact on me, I want that to like cause an influence in my home and community. So that's definitely my favorite part of the creed. So one that I know a lot of people kind of skip over sometimes and kind of look at it from a community service point. But I think it's way more than that, and it's more of like you have such a power within yourself, not only because of like who you are, but also because of FFA. So that's definitely my favorite part.
I I just love the creed because it's so quotable. It's
Mhm.
has so many like
It sure
big
is.
quotes. Like
Instagram captions galore, yes.
yes, I know. Quite literally. Like even the first line is a real like,
It's a
ooh,
good one.
that's a good
He and
hook. Like
Tiffany knew what he was doing.
yeah, I believe in the future of agriculture, faith not born of words but of deeds.
I know that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, thank you
absolutely.
so much for having.
Thank you, Connor. It was great. Hearing your story has been really phenomenal and inspiring, and I really enjoyed doing this interview.